Who isn't a slave to something? Some people are slaves to lust, others to greed, power, and most of all, fear. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how successful you are, we all have something that controls us. It could be as simple as your morning coffee, or your constant need for someone else's approval, or, whatever those habits, those cravings, they own you. Look, I get it. I was an addict and an alcoholic. I think Seneca said it best. No servitude is more abject than the self-imposed. Why? Because the moment you hand control over to something or someone else, you've become a prisoner of your own dependency, right? You become a prisoner of that own dependency. Think about it. When was the last time you truly tested yourself, right? You tried to go without that morning cup of coffee. You tried to go a week without looking at social media. Tried to use less electricity, or like maybe it's a porn addiction and not watch porn for a week, or for me as an alcoholic, not have a drink every day. How do you make it feel uncomfortable? It's not the discomfort that's the issue. It's the dependency that enslaves you. You need to test those chains. Can you go without your comforts? Can you go without your security blanket? Like for me, could I go a day without a drink? And the thing is, yes. Could I go a day without having to consume drugs? Yeah. Can you resist the urge when it calls? Like, can you resist those urges? Can you recognize what those urges are? Because if you can't break the small ones, small dependency now is what happens when life throws something bigger your way. When your coping mechanisms are all unhealthy coping mechanisms, like it's going to take more of your freedom. And a point too of when we get into dependency, when it turns into addiction, is we lose choice. You're not choosing to do it anymore. It becomes a need, like you have to. So what's the best way to break free of these changes? Is that building up these resilience and understanding what these habits behaviors are. Because if not, these vulnerabilities will bring you to your knees. They brought me down to mine many times. And so understanding where you are dependent on, right? Like all of us are dependent upon the internet and technology. But what if, there was an EMP blackout and we didn't have electronics or technology? Could we survive? Could you survive? That's one thing I loved about camping, is that you could test yourself against what you had, right? Because the only thing you really have is your own intellect and the things within your circle. Recognizing the things you can and can't control. I can't control the outside world, but I can control what I become addicted to. I do have when I make those choices, right? Because before anything becomes an addiction or a dependency, we made the choice, right? As Seneca said, we chose to give it over. We chose to give away that freedom. Sometimes, like to be a citizen, right? Like we have to choose, like when you choose to become a citizen to another country or somewhere else, there's give and take. So recognize your give and take. Is the thing that you're doing, the dependency, is it more of a net benefit or a net negative? Like for me, my drinking and drug use got out of control, became a net negative. First, it was a great way of, I thought I was handling my emotions, but I wasn't. And, through that, it brought me to my knees where I ended up blacking out and found in my old apartment that I hadn't lived in 3 months and was arrested. And yet it was through that experience that I had to really look at my addiction, at my behaviors, and learn to make a change. And from that, I came up with the MAN method: maturity, assertiveness, nurturing. 3 key qualities to become an amazing man in this day and age without losing sight of your goals or values. Learning how to become the best version of yourself. And if you want to learn how to break your dependencies, break your addictions, I offer a free strategy discovery call for everyone watching these videos, absolutely free, where I can help you figure out how to break through these dependencies, break through so you have the freedom and life that you've always wanted to live. That, guys, that's all I got for today. So I just want to wish you a great, if not better, day.